Paddy Pimblett said, "Yeah, I've accepted an opponent," and I said yes. And at the very end, says, "I'll see you at the top."
I thought beautifully done by Paddy.
You
Beautifully
know.
done. You know,
So I mean, we all know who he's talking about. His potential
absolutely.
fight with him and Michael Chandler. How do you think that fight goes if you were to see it?
I'm being honest. I think Paddy Pimblett wins that fight. I think that's not an easy fight for Chandler. On the feet, Paddy's better. He's just better. And when it gets to the ground, obviously you can sit there and say everything about Chandler with his wrestling and everything, but Charles Oliveira took Chandler down. Chandler wasn't taking Oliveira down, and he's gonna have a hard time taking Pimblett down. They're just at a different point in their careers, and this is father time's a mother, man. And I in no way am I disrespecting or putting Michael Chandler down. Michael Chandler is a fucking dog. He's a tough son of a bitch. He will fight, until the very end. I take nothing from him. It's just that he's getting older, and what made him who he was. He works his ass off. Nothing against him as far as his training. It's just that as you get older, the speed just changes a little bit, and that little bit makes huge differences in the cage against a younger fighter, which Pimblett is.
Yeah, exactly. Chase Hooper had some words when he saw that fight was potentially going to be announced. Chase Hooper said, "Honestly, after seeing how atrocious Chandler's grappling was last time out, I'm taking Paddy Pimblett to win this fight."
Oh, okay. All of a sudden, Chase Hooper's putting on his big boy pants, man.
Yeah. He had I think he's got a baby now. He's
he's married. He's got a baby. Good for him.
Out there sowing his oats.
Good
doing
for
his
him.
Thing.
Man. Good for him.
Yeah, man. Good for him. He's grew a pair of balls. Yeah, love it. Man.
Got some hair on them things.
Well, I think what it was, yeah, right. the little pubes coming out now.
Fuzzies.
Look, bottom line is I think people see that Chandler just doesn't fight smart. That's one. Two is, like you said, father time. It is catching up with him. He can't do the things he used to do. He's at that age when we started to see the decline of Tony Ferguson, saw a decline of myself in this type situations. Sure. 37, 38 is that breaking point for the guys that are at 155 pounds and below. Yeah. It might even be 170. It depends on who you are and your style, which you fight. And I think that Chandler, his style just it won't allow him to fight much longer. And I think we're going to see a decline with him as fast as we saw the decline with Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the style which they fight, John. That's the only way.
It's exactly it. And it's also the amount of damage they're taking in these fights. You take a look at the Oliveira fight, people are going, he didn't really get that damage. Oh, yes, he did. Yeah. His legs got eaten up, and if you've never had that where you've been kicked a bunch and taken damage in the legs and you get, the swelling and the phlebitis that goes and everything that happens and you're trying to get rid of all the, the water that goes with it. These are things that as over time you get older, it happens, it just gets worse. And that there is some serious damage there. Chandler, again, in that fight against Oliveira, like he fought his ass off. Okay. He was trying, and you saw in everything he was doing, he was trying. Yeah. It just wasn't there.
I'm going to throw a little story in here. There was a guy named Justin Wilcox that I used to train with called the Silverback. Yeah. He was built very similar to Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
He fought a guy in Bellator, Russian guy, I think maybe he's from Georgia. Really good calf kicks.
Yeah, that was
really good kicks.
I don't want to say it was either Stepanovich. He was called the sniper.
He was good.
Yeah.
Well, he sniped Justin Wilcox's calf. He had the calf kick. He was one of the first guys I'd ever seen really do the calf kick to the level of which he did it.
Yeah.
But Justin Wilcox came in 6-7 months later after that fight, and he still could not be kicked in the calf.
Yeah.
Basically, part of that calf muscle in that front part had torn off the bone. And so it was not basically able to really heal properly. It had scar tissue in there. So anytime if I try to like knee slice or go through his guard, any of that, and if I had my knee or my shin hit his calf, that little front portion of his calf, you could just see him go, stop. So that lets you know the amount of damage that is being done every time you're getting kicked with that calf kick. And as it continues to get beat up, you can't do it anymore. And we've seen it in other fighters that I can tell you right now, Gil Melendez, he got tore up with calf kicks in one of his fights. Then he turns around and I see I've heard through the grapevine that like a big portion of like his training now is not to do anything where you kick him because his calf is tore up. And he's not the only guy. I've heard several
No.
other guys that have had problems. Roy McDonald, he had blatantly said,
Oh.
like, I cannot be kicked anymore in the calf after the Douglas Lima fight.
Yeah.
I just can't be kicked anymore in the calf. He's like, he had started working more on switching his stances, started working more on, making sure that he learned how to
tore
step.
the muscle away from the bone.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, it's the amount of damage that is, and it was Akop Stepanian was the name of the guy that did that. You're right. I think I did that fight, or I know I was there. It was that was a tough one.
Wilcox, he ended up getting the win, I thought. I think he won that fight.
Did he?
It went the distance. It was a split decision, I think.
Yeah.
But I think he won that fight.
I think he ended up on the ground finally, and that was always Stepanian's his downfall. If he got him to the ground, he was in trouble. I think that Justin finished him on the ground, but it was I remember he was dying. It was similar to the whole Robbie Lawler versus Melvin Manhoef, leg kick that Robbie was just getting killed, and then one punch changed the entire outlook. But,
done deal.
Oh.
This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.